Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be discussing the future of Hamas and the possibility of wider Muslim military support. A topic that has gained a lot of attention in recent months, as conflicts and shifting alliances continue to shape the Middle East. From the outside, Hamas presents itself as both a political authority and a military organization. Deeply embedded in the Palestinian struggle, it has a complex image that varies depending on where you look. To some nations and communities, Hamas stands as a resistance movement fighting for liberation, while to others, it is viewed as a destabilizing force that prevents peace. The exterior image of Hamas is also tied to how Muslim nations position themselves, whether they openly condemn, quietly support, or strategically remain silent depending on their own national interests. On the inside, however, Hamas is far more complicated. The organization has managed to hold on to power in Gaza for years, despite being under siege and facing economic and humanitarian crises that weigh heavily on the population. Internally, it struggles with maintaining governance, providing basic services, and keeping public support, while also diverting resources to its military wing. The short reality of its interior is that it must balance being a government and a resistance group at the same time, something that continuously strains its structure. When we turn to performance, Hamas has shown a remarkable ability to survive and adapt. Despite the overwhelming military advantage of Israel and the continuous targeting of its leadership and infrastructure, Hamas has been able to maintain and even upgrade its capabilities. Rocket systems, tunnel networks, cyber operations, and guerrilla strategies have all become part of its toolkit. Its performance is not about defeating a stronger enemy, but about surviving long enough to continue the fight and symbolically represent resistance. In this way, Hamas has built a reputation for resilience that appeals to groups and individuals across the Muslim world who see endurance as a form of victory. The safety element is far more grim. For Hamas, safety comes through underground structures, dispersed command networks, and strategies that make it harder to be completely eliminated. But for the people of Gaza, safety is almost non-existent. Civilians face bombings, shortages of essential supplies, and constant fear of escalation. On the other side, Israelis to face safety concerns with rockets and attacks that disrupt everyday life. The cycle of action and retaliation means that safety for ordinary people rarely exists, and in many ways, this is one of the highest costs of the ongoing conflict. Unique selling points for Hamas lie in its ability to combine political identity with religious and military narrative. Unlike other movements that may fade or fracture, Hamas remains consistent in its message of resistance. This clear identity, alongside its survival under siege, makes it appealing to some Muslim states and groups, who view it as a tool or symbol against Israeli and Western dominance. Its ability to adapt, survive, maintain relevance even after repeated wars gives it a unique edge over many other militant movements that often collapse under pressure. The price of all this is extremely high, and it is paid in different ways. For Hamas itself, the price comes through the loss of fighters, leaders, and infrastructure that is constantly being rebuilt. For Gaza's people, the price is paid daily in suffering, destroyed homes, poverty, and limited opportunities for future generations. For Muslim nations that consider supporting Hamas, the price could be even higher in the form of sanctions, political backlash, strained relations with Western allies, and the risk of being drawn directly into conflict. Every level of support comes with consequences that extend beyond borders, making open military backing a decision very few are willing to take. The future of Hamas, therefore, lies in the balance between survival and transformation. On one hand, Hamas has proved it cannot easily be eliminated, continuing to play a central role in Palestinian resistance. On the other hand, the likelihood of receiving full-scale military support from Muslim nations remains limited, as most governments prefer indirect assistance, diplomatic statements, or humanitarian support rather than military involvement. The direction will depend on whether Hamas remains solely a resistance force or adapts further into governance, and whether Muslim states shift from symbolic solidarity to real material backing. What is certain is that Hamas will continue to shape the dynamics of the Middle East, serving as both a challenge to its enemies and a symbol to its supporters. The future is uncertain, but its presence in the political and military landscape is not fading anytime soon.